Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ready Set Save. I am your host and DM, Mateo, and these are our lovely players. Okay, Ross, why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, again, I'm back, and I'm Ross. I'm playing Darian. Um, Today, I'm going to be helping the party with whatever shenanigans may transpire.
Yeah, we'll lead.
I am Believe, he, him, and I'm playing Ethan, who is now a divine sword sorcerer, even though he didn't get to use his magic. Oh, he did cast like a scorching ray.
Yeah, Scorching Ray.
Um, yeah. And right now we're kind of dealing with the aftermath, of Sunny dying, as well as thousands of kids that we do not know how to take care of.
Yeah. Um, Rye.
Hi everyone, I'm Ray. I am playing Basil. We both use he, him. I am a reborn half-elf Circle of Stars druid who is trying to figure out what's going on in his past and is very attached to his sister.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as you can tell by the session title, that the session's probably going to be about you. But anyways, oh, do you know what the session title is?
I do. I don't think they do.
Okay. You do you want to say it?
Hmm.
It's the
Typical
Bewitched
Basil
brother, I
commander
believe.
though.
It's what it is,
Yeah,
right?
the
Yep.
the Bewitched brother. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, and Cal.
Hi, I'm Cal. I use she, they. My character is Sage, who uses she, her, who is a lovely half elf death domain cleric who would really not like her brother to learn about his past and has been
Uh-huh.
actively working against that so far.
Okay. Well, so you guys are like as you guys were sort of getting wrapped up with the orphanage, you guys amassed, a bunch of money and a bunch of magic items that you just found throughout the place. You guys managed to kill the threatening harpies that were in the way of the infants. So you guys managed to get them safe. And then stepping out of the orphanage, you Basil felt like a brushing against his leg, and he looks down, and there's like a white, like a glowing white cat, um, and uh, just beyond the white cat, you can also see your fellow friend, Darian. Um, he's also approaching the orphanage as well, with some news in tow. Um,
Hey
seems as
guys.
if, yeah.
Darren, hi. How's it going?
Fancy meeting you here.
Long time no see.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's
Ye-
it's going pretty good. I've got some information I was gonna grab to you guys. Just a few days old. If you'd like to hear it.
Yes.
Yeah, and the
Of
cat the
course.
cat is just kind of like sitting down, just like waiting patiently.
Can I pet it?
Um, yeah, if you want, yeah. And it sort of like
Actually,
purrs very very loudly.
Aw.
You know that there's some cats that just like
Good
purr super
cat.
loudly.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's my
Uh-huh.
cat.
actually, Darren,
Annoyingly
actually,
loudly,
Darren,
not
Oh no,
aggressively loudly,
that's
but
my
yeah.
cat.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
actually, Darian, we may want to hold back on sharing information till we figure out who exactly this is. I point at the cat which Sage is petting.
That's true. He talks. He understands things.
Yeah,
Well,
and the cat sort of like brazenly adjusts itself a little bit, looking at you, Darian, and it says, "Hello."
I'm going to address to the party. You tried detect magic on it or something similar?
No, not yet.
no, not
It
yet,
just like
not
it
yet.
just got here.
Wait, did the cat
We're a
just
bit
talk?
confused.
Yeah, we established that
Mm-hmm.
already. Can I pick the cat up? Will it let me do that?
I'm,
Um,
I'm
so
going
you
to.
make an animal handling
Oh
check. Yeah,
no.
sure.
I think this is going to go just as well as me trying to pick up my actual cat. That's a 13.
Um, and it kind of loudly like meows as you go and like hug its like tummy.
Yep. Yep.
And its hair is sort of standing on end, like very uh, like sort of jagged, um, as it like moves away from you a little
I
bit.
just wanted you to be eye level with everyone else.
Yeah, and he says, "I can handle myself. Thank you very much."
Cats are cute. I
Well,
like
Mr.
them.
Cat,
Do you have a
would you
name?
like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Max of the Emerald Enclave.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, that explains.
I'm sure you've heard of them.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean,
We strive to keep nature's balance in the world.
Oh yeah, you do.
Mhm. Yes,
that
and
is a noble cause.
Yeah.
and I must say, you guys have named you guys have made a name for yourself. Is what he says.
Wow, that's exciting.
Mhm. I read about you all in the papers,
Oh,
and
that's not
Uh,
exciting.
well, you're the party that likes to keep in tow with the now deceased what's his face,
Suni.
Suni
Sunny.
Moon.
Mm,
Yes.
yes. We were all
Yes.
brought together by
Yes.
circumstances that we did not create. So,
Well, as I have heard, you have a druid in the party, yes?
my dear
And
lovely
he,
brother.
yeah, he kind of eyes Basil. And he says, well, the Enclave is in need of you.
Uh,
Can
did not
I
realize the Emerald Enclave would reach out.
Yes, and I must
Outside.
add, in desperate need.
Why?
Well, truth be told, in the past year, the Enclave has suffered, how should I put it, a great turmoil. Our leader, Jareth Falcon, has fallen ill.
It's,
You
And what do
And
you
her
it's
think my brother can
husband has
do?
recruited me
Okay.
I see.
to gather some people and help.
help out?
Hell yeah.
Well, I think it might be easier if, my master just explained it to you. I was tasked to bring you to the Falcon Estate.
Right now,
Yes, the headquarters of the Emerald Enclave, Falconmere.
I'm gonna look at Basil, but what about the and I point towards the children. What about them?
And
Will we
Renair
have to go
says,
to
yeah, Renair says, well, I mean, I could take care of it.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you.
Rana, you would do that?
Yeah. Well, it depends.
Renner,
Where do you want these infants to go?
Oh, didn't you guys
I
find a
think
nice orphanagey place?
yeah.
Gemini. I
Gemini.
think Darian, you probably know as well since you're from there when you do a bit of investigating. Um, you can confirm that this Auntie Gemini isn't a shady figure or another coven of hags, because that's what happened to the last orphanage.
Yeah, what do
Yes.
I recall?
You can make like a history check, see what you know
Sure.
about this anti Gemini place.
11.
Okay. Um, you are not sure if this is a red herring or not, but you do know that hags normally like to name themselves as anti something. Um, but you know that this orphanage has garnered a great reputation for itself, and this is the orphanage of choice for most nobles in the city.
Hey, orphanage of choice for most nobles. Seems good.
It's a great place.
Are we in
Other
agreement then?
than
The children can go there?
Yeah. And I guess we can check on them
Yeah,
later, and
it's
if
a good
there's
idea.
any issues, we can
Okay,
deal with it.
sure. I'll get my friends to help out.
Oh,
Is what he says.
Please don't let Floon anywhere near the children.
Oh no,
yes.
not Flute.
Thank you.
You have my word. Yeah.
Volo, actually.
He does not
I
like
don't really
Volo. I
think.
don't think we have that problem.
Okay. Well, you guys remain here while I go and try to get like a troop of city guards just to go ahead and guard the children. And then you know, while they guard, I'll go and try to get my friends, and then we can settle this whole ordeal. Okay?
Amazing. We'll
Yeah.
find you later if we need you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Compared to your father, you're a much more put together person, or much more trustworthy, at least. That's a better word.
Uh, And he kind of like melts as you say that, almost as if like this is like the best thing that he's heard, like probably in his life. Like, it's not that he melts, but he just like beams. Like you can see his
The person
smile
with
just
daddy
like
issues
radiate.
likes being called better than his daddy.
Yeah. Um. And he says, "Wow. I mean, if you weren't my brother, I wish you would be."
Well, Ethan is gonna stare at him.
Yeah, gonna look between like the three of them and be like, Renair, that might have not been your best choice of words today.
And he says, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, it's not every day you find out that you have like a new brother. So
I know.
yeah,
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
But be considerate
Renee really
because
needs
he
brothers, huh?
also didn't
No,
know.
I genuinely think Renat, you have helped me a lot, and I wouldn't be here without you. I just want to say that, and
Oh,
I genuinely want to thank you. That's what I want to say. I'm not sure if I'm gonna repay you, but
no need to repay me.
I mean, we
Trust me.
saved his life, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's the least I can do for you folks. I mean, I don't recall that I paid
Yeah,
you
you
for
better.
it. So
No, we didn't
yeah,
ask for. No, that was Volo's problem.
yeah. I guess that was Volo's problem, wasn't it? Okay. Well, I'll go
I
find
turned to
the city
the.
guards
I
then.
turned to the.
Okay, bye,
So
I turned to
Renair.
yeah,
the.
Renair just goes to the city guards. So
I turned to
leaves.
the cat. I'm sorry, I didn't catch the cat's name. If
Max.
you hadn't
Max.
mentioned it,
Max.
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 Max, right? Yeah. Um. Well, Max, is there a Emerald Enclave headquarters or something
Yes.
here? If so, you can give me the address, and I can have Darian lead us to there. But
Oh,
is
no
there any more
need. I
Can't
information?
can
Max
lead
just
you
take us?
myself.
Yes. I would hope the
Sure.
cat knows where he lives.
I can guide you
Then we
there.
may have to. We have to hold back on whatever information you want to share with us until we're back. Is
I
that
mean,
that?
does
You,
going to your master entail that we've agreed to help them, or is it just hearing them out?
Um. Well, he has a job for you,
Yes. And
and it
does
pays well.
okay. Well, we're kind
yes?
of in the need of a job. I look to the tattered tavern, or a
Shh.
former tavern.
We're not there. We're still at the orphanage, I think. We haven't gone home.
Yeah, you're still at the orphanage. Yeah,
Um,
you're outside the walls.
yes, but does walking
Yeah.
into the Emerald Enclave headquarters entail agreeing to take the job?
Oh no, 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 no.
Perfect. I think we shall go. Anyone else have a
Yeah,
disagreement?
then.
I'll join
No.
you. Yeah.
Hmm.
Sounds
Splendid.
interesting.
Okay. So you guys all head to the Emerald Enclave, the Falconmere estate. Okay. So, um, as you continue, you guys get to, I think. Oh, hold on. I recall it is the South Ward. So you guys continue south, or actually no, it'd be north because you're coming from the dock ward. So you're going north. You don't pass any particularly important landmarks. So yeah, no use describing them. But this is what you see as you approach the so you approach the grand gates of Falconmere, the renowned sanctuary of the Emerald Enclave. A chill sort of grips your senses. Um, Once a bastion of nature's splendor, now reduced to desolation. The courtyard, once
Oh, wow.
vibrant, now hosts dry fountains, blighted gardens, and lifeless trees, while mournful tents stand like solemn tombstones amid the grim landscape. A sprawling two-story estate looms, suffocated by heaps of thorny, lifeless vines. Um, and yeah, as you kind of like open the gates to wander inside, you guys notice two sort of distinct noble houses, like in the courtyard, um, sort of in juxtaposition. So one seems to be adorned in sort of this jade green attire that echoes like a wood elf heritage, and they sort of lie scattered about. They seem to be enveloped in grief. Um, and their demeanor finds solace in smoking sort of a soothing substance as they just sort of like recline upon the barren ground. And meanwhile, there's like another noble house among them, and they seem to be draped in black robes, sort of like druidly attire, but just black. It has accents of water blue, and they navigate the estate with purpose. Some among them walk blindfolded, and they seem to be tending to the afflicted land. And you notice, like, uh, a few people from this one house with the black robes. They seem to be chanting and gathered in some sort of druid circle, just like in the edge of the courtyard.
So, Max, uh, what happened here? I thought the North Ward was beautiful. I've never been here much, but
And Max says, "Yes, it's a terrible shame, isn't it? Well, I suppose that is what happens when you become a disembodied voice whose life force is tied to the estate and you go ill."
Oh, this
ah,
is ah,
so
that makes
that's how
sense.
it is.
Yes.
A serious
And
issue.
none of the other druids that you've recruited have been able to do anything to fix his
Ah,
illness.
it is a druid's job, but not a druid of the Enclave. That point is particularly clear.
Why?
Oh,
Well, I think it shall be explained better by well, my master. And you guys seem to be walking into, like, approaching like a large tent. It's black.
I
I
insight
see.
check those words to see if
Yeah,
um,
sure.
Also,
probably smart.
does anyone particularly like notice us? Does anyone seem to take an interest in us?
That's a good question. Um, so I'll answer that question after Darian. So what did you
nat
roll?
20.
Oh, okay, nice. Um, no, it seems like he's not trying to hide anything. Like he knows the answer to your question, but he genuinely thinks it better be explained by his master. To be honest,
Yeah,
is what he
I can
says.
see that. He's a cat.
Yeah. And so you kind of look around. If for anyone particularly noticing you, make a perception check.
Okay, yeah. I will. Oh, yeah,
That
she's outside.
is a dirty 20.
Okay, nice. So you do notice one person in particular who's also dressed in robes. I should also mention all the people that are dressed in robes, they do have their hoods up. Yeah. But you do notice like some of them have blindfolds. This one isn't wearing a blindfold, but he's not dressed in black. He's dressed in kind of like what you'd expect a groundskeeper to wear. So you kind of like have the fringe sort of cloth like on their shoulder, and it's more of a brown hue on him, and
Hmm,
he's got like a key, um, just like a necklace of keys on his chest.
interesting.
Yeah,
Quick question. Does
and
this
mhm.
cat seem like a Max? Seem like an animal with the ability to speak, or a druid who's shapeshifted into a cat? A wild with a wild shaped.
um,
Based from my
yeah,
knowledge as a
there.
druid.
I would say there's probably no check required. You think that this is just a like an animal who's wild shaped, but still has retained their ability to speak.
You mean druid who's wild shaped, right? Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. A
Oh,
druid
it's a
who's
person.
wild shaped. Yeah.
That explains
Okay,
a
Yeah.
lot.
yeah,
This is a person.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got
He wild shaped into the mystical, magical talking cat.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It could very well be you get the sense that maybe he was also tasked to find you, and maybe taking on this sort of animal form might have made him more
Yeah,
perceptive.
that's still weird to me.
Yeah. Um,
Though we were in the
but
paper.
yeah, you were in the paper. Well, Suni was in the paper, not so much you guys, because you did specify you didn't want to be mentioned. So
That's true.
yeah. Um, what was I gonna say?
But it didn't
Yeah. Is there?
matter anyways because they somehow found us anyways. So
Yeah.
Look, I don't think associates of Sunni stay like anonymous
Please.
very very long.
Yeah.
uh,
But Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to do before you head inside? You do notice that one
No,
guy
I thought that.
who's kind of just looking at you. Like he was tending, like he was like shoveling a pile of dirt, like the groundskeeper, but he looked up and kind of just
Hey,
sat,
I think we
like
Max.
should check
stood
on
there.
him on the way out.
Max,
Oh, sorry.
who's that? I sort of try to nudge my head in the direction of the person.
He says, "Ah, yes, that is Melanor Fellbranch, the groundskeeper of Falconmere."
Interesting. Do you know him well?
Um, well, not particularly. He is neither Falcon nor Tom.
Falcon Norton, neither of the houses.
Neither of the houses.
Ah,
Yes.
interesting. So he's just here to tend to the grounds then?
Yes, he is.
Couldn't anyone from either of the houses do that?
Yeah, you say this as like, well, so one of them, like the green ones, they seem to be just in themselves. They're like,
Yeah.
like laying on the ground, like using drugs. But the other
They're going
houses,
through a hippie
yeah,
phase.
yeah, they have purpose in their steps, and they're trying to tend to the
Yes.
desolate
So
sort of
why do you
dead
need a
ground.
groundskeeper when it seems that
And he says, well, the Toms. Uh, and he says that like the groundskeeper was here when the grounds weren't desolated before. um like that kind of work only required one groundskeeper.
ah,
But now it's just all awful. And yeah.
interesting. Alrighty.
And he kind of like sort of says that, like, he kind of implies that the other house is being lazy, like they're not keeping their um
Hey, we
dues.
all have to go through our hippie phase at some point.
Yeah.
So what's this purpose of this house system?
And he says, well, a marriage, really. Two houses joined together in
I
holy
see.
matrimony.
Matrimony. Interesting.
That makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yes. The Toms and the Falcons have been wedded or joined for the past 2 decades now.
That's a long time.
Yes, they've been happily married for 20 years.
Wow.
Mhm.
All right.
Can I
Let's see
insight
your
check that
master.
happily married?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
I refuse. I
Wow.
refuse to acknowledge. 21.
That was
No, he might have been fibbing a little bit with the
Yeah,
happily.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You could have just left it a happy marriage, You
I
had to go inside check
refuse.
that.
I refuse.
Yeah.
Anyone who says it that happily is not telling the truth.
Mhm. So as you approach the tent, this black tent, you can actually hear some like really distraught, loud sobbing coming from inside. And you can hear
Oh,
someone saying like just crying out like no, no, no. And these are the exact words that you hear. You can't say that to me. You can't just abandon mom. That's what you hear. But just in a very distraught tone, as if like, they just can't believe it.
Does it sound like it's a child?
No.
Okay.
But it does sound like a younger man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm to
Not a
the
teenager,
sage
but
and
like a
say,
young adult.
I'm the sage, and I say, families in the city are very tumultuous. I've never, I feel, village life is really much more suited to us.
Yeah.
It's a fast life, You might get mugged one day.
Yeah, that doesn't
Who
happen
knows?
where we're from. There's a very limited pool of people that could mug you, so it doesn't really happen because it'd be easy
It's
to
very
know.
peaceful,
I don't know,
peaceful
Dorian, do
town.
you have
Nothing
any
ever
It's
experience?
happens.
beautiful.
And as you approach, and you can hear another voice sort of receiving the distraught one. And you can hear, it is the way of peace, my son. The way of Eldath, please, you must have some more. And he says, no! Fuck your Eldath! And as you enter, and you can see like a desk sort of squarely like in the back, um, and this older gentleman, who also has a blindfold on, by the way. He's dressed in like the sort of black attire. He's holding like and consoling like his son. Um, and his son is dressed in like green.
Okay.
Um, but the son just like seemed to knock something out of the old man's hands, and he like stands up and he begins to approach like the exit, or in this case the entrance for you guys, and he approaches you and he just stands there, kind of all just like tear ridden, and he looks at you for a second, locks eyes with you, and he looks back at his father and he says, "The executioners couldn't even wait a fucking day," and he just like walks off.
Hold on.
No,
I'm
no, we're
sorry.
not
We're
executioners.
not.
We're
We're
here to
not
help.
that. Actually.
As he walks away, we're like,
Hey,
Darn
hey,
it, we already have one. We already have a daddy's
Max,
issue character. Now we have a mommy's issue character.
Yeah.
Max, you didn't bring us in for an execution, did you?
Max, we don't kill people on demand.
Um, and yeah,
Confronted
the
with
old
that
man just
fact.
yells, "Lance! Lance!" I'm sorry, you must forgive my boy. He is distraught over his
No,
mother's illness.
His mother's
no
illness?
worries.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Allow me to introduce myself. And he, still blindfolded, by the way, he just like looks up, and it seems as if he's like able to see you even through the blindfold for some weird reason.
Ineffective
Um,
blindfold.
yeah, and he just like, yeah, he dances around the desk, and he meets your hand actually, Darian. And he says, "Aram Tarm, Lord Aram Tarm."
Whoa.
Nice to meet you,
"I
Hi.
am Jareth
Lord
Falcon's
Armstrong.
husband."
Oh, suddenly things make so much more sense now.
I presume you're the master that Max was talking about.
"Yes, I am him."
Mind telling us why you called us here today?
"Yes, of course. Allow me to
Yes.
explain the situation for you. In fact, it is quite simple." And he kind of says some weird like adage about peace. Um, and then he says that his daughter died, um, protecting the estate, and this kind of basically um, threw a wrench into the family. But in sort of
Yes,
their
it does.
uh, depression, Jareth caught like a terrible illness, um, and she's been going like this for probably about like a year. And he says that um, Jareth, well, he says this in the nicest way possible, and he says another adage about peace, kind of relating it to like death, like the sleep of death. And he says that it's Jareth's time to die, to pass.
That's not why we
And
were brought here, though. That was
yeah,
not
and he
what we
says,
were told.
well, he says as a contingency, Jareth planted totems throughout Waterdeep to basically anchor her life force to this plane. And he says, with those totems, um, they can be destroyed, and that will finally let Jareth stop like her suffering, and pass on to another realm.
So we
Is
are
what he says.
executioners, yes.
Um,
Wait,
and
but
he,
not in the direct.
yeah, and he says another adage about peace. um, and like something about like in darkness there being peace as
Well,
well, like in the darkness of sleep and death.
What exactly is Jared suffering from?
And he says, "A magical affliction that even she cannot cure," is what he says. And
I've
he
heard of
Mhm.
I've heard of the timeless age of druids and uh how they have supernatural ways to cure things using the power of nature. If truly is
Yeah.
something which is beyond that.
He says that it is an
Uh,
old Netherese like
mm,
ailment. Or sorry, not ailment, an
can
illness. Yeah.
can I history check Netherese?
Yeah, sure.
Do people commonly know what Netherese? I know out of character. I just want to know if in character people know.
Do
No.
you? Okay, cool.
Uh,
I'm prepared to explain.
so what type of check was that? History?
Yeah, history. Or
History?
arcana.
That's a 12. Same 12.
Okay. Um, the basics about Netherese. They are sort of like an old ancient empire who were famously remarked on to be one of the greatest empires in all the realms before they had their tragic fall. Um, yeah, they're viewed kind of like ancient Rome is nowadays. Yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
um, a product, I guess, of their own folly, I suppose. Yeah.
So, why can nobody from here destroy the totems, remove the totems? What you want us to do with them?
And he alludes to the idea that Jareth always trusted outsiders as the biggest. Well, he says that he says that Jareth was wise, and she kind of thought that outsiders were the people that she could trust the most. She didn't like corruption, the idea of like nature corrupting people.
Hmm.
So she said that only druids. She made it so that only druids of the like that aren't of the Emerald Enclave can handle the totems.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. She thought that if there was going to be, you know, malice, it would probably be from the Enclave itself trying to tear her down.
hmm. Well, I do
Wait,
believe, dear brother
holy
of mine, we might be becoming executioners today.
no.
Though I
This almost
suppose it
okay.
is mercy.
If before we make a decision, could we see Jareth? Uh, if we truly are going to be these mercy killing executioners, I'd at least like to look the woman in her eyes once.
And he says that you could not actually look at her in the eyes because even before her illness, she was just a disembodied voice. Is what he says. She was almost like a demigod in terms of power, really. She was a great
Jeez, okay.
archdruid. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I was thinking it.
and yeah, he makes another sort of allusion to nature about like, you know, how mighty empires fall by like the single, how in like War of the Worlds, sorry, spoilers, but the like great empires can just fall because of like an illness,
Yeah.
right? Or like a bacteria. So, yeah,
Playing.
that's what he alludes to.
Alexander the Great.
Mhm.
Malaria.
So,
Okay.
so why us? You could have given the stars to any of your druids, right?
Well, no,
No,
no one from
No,
the Enclave.
no one from the Enclave. Yeah.
And I suppose we were probably the most easy to find.
Yes.
Hmm.
But he also said that he admires something about your faith.
Right.
Yeah. Not not Ethan. He kind of just gestures towards you two,
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay.
which
Interesting.
you find oddly alarming,
Yeah,
actually.
no, I
Yeah.
do. That's a very particular comment.
Mhm.
Dorian, do you think
yes.
this is a
Yeah.
Suppose, though, having faith is very important.
Yeah, he talks about Eldath some more, how like even in darkness, like even the deepest darkness, that grants peace, is what he says.
Is there some second agenda that he's running? Do an insight check on him.
Yeah, sure.
this sounds like a cult. A druid cult.
Gonna be a 13.
The
Um,
Armand Lecter is not
you're
very
not you're not really
good and
sure if he
normal.
has some sort of ulterior
Be
motive.
quiet.
Um, uh, but like he basically seems to lace everything that he says with Eldath says this, like as if he's being guided by this god, who's you know who's appeared to him.
Do
Yeah.
we know anything about Eldath, like outside of him?
If you want to make
Yeah,
like a religion check, you can.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
probably you'd do that, right?
That is a 13.
Okay. So you know that Eldath is the god of peace.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Eldath is the god of
Okay.
peace. And she's usually, I'm pretty sure it's she. She's usually like modeled after like rivers. Like that's the kind of motif, like running water.
Doesn't seem doesn't like ring any red flags or raising red flags or anything, right?
Not with the 13.
Nope.
Okay. Um, forgive me for asking, but if your wife were to, the powerful druid she is, were to pass on, who would take on this heavy mantle she leaves behind?
That's a good question. And he kind of like does a long-winded sort of answer, eventually arriving at the point, yes, it's going to be me who takes over the estate and the
Hmm,
enclave, is what he says.
figured,
How does your son
figured.
feel about this?
And he says, it doesn't really much matter what his son thinks, is what he says.
Look, I understand it may not matter, but like he has an opinion here.
And he says that
And
his
acknowledging it
wife
might fix or improve your relationship.
and he says that his wife has been suffering for a year, under unendurable
That
agony,
must
and that
That would
it
not
is
be
time
that
to put her
must
down. Give her peace.
that still does
Yeah.
not acknowledge your son's opinion on this whole thing.
And he also acknowledges
right.
that they've been trying to like cure her as well. He mentions something called the ritual of Almer. Yeah,
I
ritual
do
of
an Arcana
Almer.
check or something. Right, attempt to
Sure.
see whether I'm aware of, probably not the full details, to be very honest, because that's sort of a very niche thing. All right, let's see. Uh, that's a 22 actually. Not bad, not bad.
Okay. Um, you've never heard of the ritual of Almer, but you do like pick up like a word in there, like Almer. Um, it's Elvish, and you think actually it's a double entendre. It means both bliss but also darkness, like blindness.
Okay. Yeah, there's no way to, you know, organically bring that up. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Would you
Right,
describe your
interesting.
son as a rash man?
And he says, "Oh yes, he does
Like,
not walk in the way of peace, mind you.
No,
He
that
follows
was
in the path of
apparent.
Miliki."
Yeah, that was very well apparent before we came in.
so
Yes.
would you uh think he would try and stop us as we destroy these totems?
Yes, but I would advise you to pay no heed to his thoughts.
Okay. On the off chance he does attempt to stop us,
Mhm.
what would you like us to do? I don't want to kill your son.
Well, um,
Oh,
that's good that you
Sage.
mentioned something
My
trying to
point
stop
is,
you.
if he gets in the way, I'd like to understand what to do.
Right.
So, in case he
Or
resorts to
resistance.
violence, he could resort to violence against us. I would like to understand the
Yes.
terms.
I I would not worry about my son. I can take care of him. And of course, well, he's got his dreamist, so I can try to feed a bit of it to him. He might receive it well, maybe. Well, he just slapped the dreamist out of my hands just now, but he might come to and take some more. But regardless, you mentioned resistance, and I forgot to warn you about one teensy itty bitty thing. The tomes
Mm.
are guarded by wild magic. There's no easy way to say this. The ritual to destroy the totems invokes, shall I say, a gauntlet of combat.
Oh no.
Yes.
Is it
One
like a
encounter
group?
for each totem.
It's a group event, right? We're not sending my brother to try and do this on its own because it would not work
I'm
out.
Oh,
not. I'm
yes.
not really.
You can all
I'm
sit
not really
within the circle of totems
confrontational
if you
person.
so wish.
Perfect. Um,
Oh, and that reminds me. And then
I'll.
he goes into like actually like the ritual and how to actually, you know, um, do like actually destroy the totems. Um, and he relays that information
Is
to
this
you.
like a process? Is it like a? Do we have to do anything specific, or are we just gonna do like a? We know the rituals, so we're gonna do it kind of thing.
Um, yeah, like you know the rituals so that you can do it, but I can tell you what the
Okay.
specifics inquire. Like, so basically, the
Yeah.
idea is you just place them all like around in the triangle. You stay in the triangle. You pray a bit, and then you get sort of whisked away to like a sort of demi-plane, like 3 times,
Okay.
one per each totem, and you have no opportunity. You have an opportunity for a short rest, but you don't have an opportunity for a long rest in between.
can we
Yeah,
perhaps do a
Oh.
long rest before we go?
I mean, yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
You first need to
M-
find the
m-
totems too.
That's
He
true.
also
That will
tells you
take
what the
some time.
location
Yeah.
of the totems are.
Oh, the location's amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
this he's not like he's saying that this isn't going to be a scavenger hunt. Like he knows where they are.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah,
Because we've
Uh,
done scavenger
Um,
hunts. It's not fun.
yes. So
forgive me for asking, but I know your wife is suffering, and we the most we want to do is the last thing we want to do is prolong that suffering. But um, there's no hard time on us trying to find and destroy these totems, is there?
he
Um,
says that there is no hard time, but he would advise you to be, you know, quick.
a bit,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not like next 24 hours kind of thing. It's actually trying to figure out.
No, no, no,
Speed run, kill wife.
no.
I wasn't
Speed
gonna
run,
say
kill
it.
wife.
I
Yeah.
was thinking
Uh-huh.
it. New achievement
Um.
unlocked.
Yeah. Okay. So these are the totems. So the first is the hyena totem, given to a group of 3 urchins for safekeeping. And Jareth actually gave these ones pretty recently, like about like a year ago or a year and a half ago.
Where
This
we
this
know? Does he
specific
know where
totem.
the merchants are?
Sorry, the urchins.
Yeah,
Urchins.
sorry,
Urchins.
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 That's a word.
Um, Nobody describes them to you, and they're the same urchins you came to meet earlier. That Volo had to go to the orphanage. They're the same 3 orphans. Yeah.
Oh, I know who we're
Oh,
talking about now.
damn.
The children that Volo sent to the orphanage and then immediately regret it.
Yeah, yeah. And told you to
What's up
rescue.
with people loving those orphans? Are they blessed by the gods or something? All of a sudden now there's
Hey,
archery?
those three were living in the house
What's
before we
going
got
on?
it. So I mean,
Like he says that these
What's
urchins
going
have
on?
they haven't made a name for themselves, but like they're kind of sort of famous throughout the city. Um,
The
they do like
previous
to meet
look,
party.
people
I'm
and
forever just
play.
calling these children Volo's kids.
Yeah, Volo's kids. Yeah,
Like that is my association.
I believe the official term that the adventure gives them are like is the troll skull orphans. I'm pretty
That
sure.
would
I'm not
also
sure though.
make sense.
Yeah,
The
I'm not.
troll
I'm
skull
not sure.
They're
trio.
Volo's kids,
I
though.
think. Yeah, I think the adventure just names them the urchins, but yeah. Um. Okay, so then the other 2 totems. One of them is inside one of the scarecrows in Undercliff. So I guess it's kind of a little bit of a scavenger hunt for that. So it's inside a scarecrow in Undercliff. He just doesn't know which one.
That's fine.
It's a frog totem. That one.
Hyena frog.
And then there's one more. And this totem was given to the Blackstaff actually, and she guards it in Blackstaff Tower, along with all the other magical items that you can find there. It's a lizard totem. That one.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, which should we head to first?
I vote we go
We-
home first.
Yeah, we have a bit of things to discuss with you, Gary. But thank you for sharing. once again, I don't like to. My family is one of the most important things, and I do anything for my wife. If she was just endlessly suffering, and if she thought this was the best outcome, then I'd probably do the same. Uh,
Yeah.
do hope she's all right. Um, she is all right with this, right?
Oh yes, your wife has
Um.
agreed to this course of action, yes?
Is she
Before we do
conscious of
this,
that?
none of her will.
um. And
It's not like a
he,
divorce thing, is it?
yeah, he
This
kind
is
of
a very
like
bad divorce
stumbles.
method.
Yeah, he stumbles amongst like his own words a bit as he says, "My wife is not in a state to make such a decision. I would say
Have you asked
Um,
her?
I could not enter the house.
So
Okay.
She's retreated back into the house, and needle blights guard it. I
Oh.
cannot
so you
speak with
got
her."
kicked out of the house, and then
You
you now
decided she
want
was
us.
going to die.
Yeah.
and
So
and he says,
You've had a
"I,"
year of this, and this was the turning point, being kicked out of your own house.
and he says, "The sickness has made her sour."
Yeah, as it often does. That's a normal
Yes.
thing. However,
No.
no,
No. Uh, Beyond that, her mind is not right.
I
She
know
is
he
amassing
probably
this
means well
army
with
of
saying
needle
this.
blights that are threatening our members.
like he
He probably
seems
means
well,
well.
but
That sounds.
it really does just sound like a
Yeah.
disgruntled partner who's been kicked out of the house. It's like
Yeah.
really annoyed. It's
But,
like I
what,
know when to get
can I?
rid of her.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, let's go find the three toads she gave and kill her.
um,
Can I nature check needle blights are not naturally
Mhm.
nature's you know uh what's the right word? Evil's not the right word. Um, are they like one of those druidic helpers
do
kind
you
of
mean
things, or one of
hostile?
those
They're
like
not hostile.
yeah, are they hostile creatures?
Oh, are they hostile
I'm
creatures?
looking for a word.
I believe their alignment is like they typically. Well, actually, go ahead and make the nature check. Wanna know.
Yeah, trying to determine whether these needle blights will probably have uh bad intentions, or is it like a completely commanded like construct kind of thing. 19.
Okay. Well, I will tell you right now, like one of the headers for like the information in here, it says controlled by evil. So, um, yeah, like blights are naturally typically evil creatures.
Well,
My only experience
Yeah,
out of character is in Barovia, which is why I wasn't sure. Like,
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, but I mean, if you want to know if they're hostile, you could just ask him.
I think we know
no,
the
If
no,
anyone's
answer
been
he
by me
told
attacked.
us.
threatening members
Yeah,
and guarding the door so he can't get into his house.
Yeah,
I think his personality isn't very likable, but he definitely does mean well
Oh no, I
enough.
understand why his son
Um,
seems to have daddy and mommy issues.
mhm.
mhm. I say thank you for the information. We're going to we'll take into account, and if we do change our minds, we'll come back to you personally and speak. But for now, should head out. Uh, I don't know, Max. Is Max still here?
Oh
Um,
yeah, the cat.
Max is still here. Yes,
Thank you, Max, for bringing us here. We'll head on. Uh,
it was my pleasure.
I pat him again.
Yeah, and he purrs loudly at you.
he's a nice
sorry,
guy.
one last thing. Who placed these totems?
Jareth.
yeah, Jareth
Yeah,
did.
he does say
Sure.
Jareth.
Jareth did. Yeah.
Yeah,
As a
keep on.
contingency to tie her life force to this plane.
Yeah, I was
Something
just
that
wondering if. Fine.
something that you would expect probably like a demigod to do, right?
Yeah.
I
Well,
keep on
I
calling it,
suppose this
calling it
means that
Jalestron in my
we
mind.
have accepted the role that you've given us.
Yeah.
though it was slightly misleading at first. Looks at the cat.
Hmm.
Are we out of the
Are we
druid
heading
yet?
out now? We're
Before
walking
we
out, right?
leave, what do we get in return for doing this?
Oh yeah. Why am I being so?
I
And
mean,
he
as
I'm a
says,
much
truth
I would
seeker.
agree to do it for nothing, given as I
I'm
think we are ending someone's suffering. But the cat did specifically mention.
yeah. And he says, I must admit that it may be quite macabre to reward someone for killing my wife, but
No, I
I
agree.
suppose um, these these totem guardians are very threatening and hostile, and it will take a good amount of might to destroy the totems. So, for that, I will reward you with 5,000 gold.
Oh my
The price on your
god.
wife's head,
All of our
literally.
faces are like going like.
And he says, of course, this gold will only be given to you after, as it is inside the manor which Jareth is now guarding.
That checks
Naturally.
out. That's a lot of money.
And he nods his
That's
head.
a lot of money.
Also, if I could make a personal request, um, a lot of my powers and connection with nature um, came much more recently, and I haven't familiarized myself with this ability to item to max to shapeshift the way you all do. If, of course, you could have the time, you could guide me, for have not had a druidic mentor or guide before. Basically, I've not wild shaped this entire campaign. I didn't want to, but if
Oh,
there's
yeah,
like a
okay.
druidic
Yeah,
thing, I
yeah.
want to like organic, because I feel like the flavor of druid which I am is not the
Uh-huh.
kind which turns into a rat. But like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
there's like a druidic uh
Yeah, sure.
organization, I
He
can get them to teach me or something.
he if you do this for him, he will invite you into the enclave and he will give you a good position. And he will also teach you the ways of Eldath. That's what he says.
The ways of Alda. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
We have a religion. Thank you. I
Uh,
have
Yeah,
a religion.
but yeah, yeah, that seems like a fair thing. Uh,
mhm.
let's head on out. Okay, thank you for your time, and hopefully
I
Jared
will.
doesn't have to suffer for too much longer.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, and he says, "Thank you, and may Eldath bless you all, and may
Okay.
she show you nature's way."
Nope. Nope. Well, I mean, Sage is saying that under her breath. Sage
Yeah.
is. No.
Sage, as you exit the tent, you get this
Uh,
weird feeling in the back of your head, like you've seen this all before. Like this is all like oddly familiar to you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So as soon as we get out of this place, I hope you guys are not falling for his.
Oh, hold on. Like the groundskeeper is like expectantly just like staring at you and is like he drops the shovel and begins to walk up to
Guys,
you
I think
as
we're
you
gonna have
leave.
a conversation.
Oh God, can we get out of this
Basil.
place?
I don't like
Just
it
went
here.
for the door.
Basil, I'm getting a weird sense of deja vu in this place.
Hmm.
And he says, excuse me, just a moment of your time."
Hi.
Sure.
Yes, Mr. Groundskeeper. I forgot
I
his
do know
name.
his name. I
I
have it
always
written down.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Melanor?
My name is Melanor Fellbranch.
I got it right.
Okay, yeah, that's
Melanor.
what he was a branch name.
I am the groundskeeper of Falconmere,
Yes, so
and
we've heard.
I do not fit into any of their houses. I'm
Yes.
sorry. I cannot dabble in petty politics, really. That's not my style. Well,
Yeah, understandable.
Thus we've heard.
if I am to interject, um, well, how should I put it? You are the ones that were hired to put down the rabid dog, is it?
Pardon?
It's
Well,
that's a strong word for the former leader of the Emerald
Oh,
Enclave.
are
But
you referring to
ah,
Jareth?
Yes. Well, it is what. Well, those are Mr. Tom's words. If I may be
Oh,
so
okay.
bold.
That's his what is what?
Uh, so,
Interesting.
get to the
Yes,
point.
we've
Yes.
been recruited. Yes.
My point is this: I have a promise to keep, a promise to Jareth. And Jareth gave me a tome explaining the ritual and the totems as well that you are all after.
This is
And
Laxa.
And he like pulls out this like giant heavy tome. And he says,
Interesting.
I've been keeping it with me by my side in my pack for all these years. Half a century.
What,
Have a century.
what type of tome is this?
Um, it's not a magical tome.
Half a century.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Longer
But
than
you know
they've
that
been
it is
married.
like it is stylized sort of in a way like the covers are made of like leaves and it's
Uh,
very like naturally decorated.
so you're saying
Yeah.
that this predates the wedding between?
Yes, this
Okay.
yes, this predates the wedding.
All right.
Mhm.
And what about it?
And in the event of her demise, I was to give this to the totem bearers.
Us.
Now, I'm sorry, I'm quite illiterate. I cannot read all this magical mumbo jumbo and jargon in here. But
Yeah.
what I do suspect is that, well, these totems can be destroyed and, end the whatever, yes. But I think they might be able to be reverse engineered and maybe bolster a little bit more life into Jareth and have a shrug off this illness.
Sounds like a
Interesting.
more um
reasonable
desirable
plan.
outcome.
Why
Yeah.
haven't you told her husband this?
Oh, I've
Jin?
told this to his husband. He does not listen to me. He's very dead set in his ways, and the ways of Eldath.
Does
Yeah, he
Jareth
So
seems
keep
to
the
be very
Eldath to
serious
the
about
same
that.
degree that Tarm does?
She often mentioned her from time to time, but we primarily worshipped Miliki. Really. The Enclave.
Interesting.
Well, that was
so
before a year ago, before she fell ill,
Yeah.
so you're
before
illiterate,
Mr.
yet you
Tom.
were able to assume that this can be reverse engineered.
Somewhat illiterate. Yes.
He understands some
Okay.
reading.
Mhm.
Don't worry, I
Chapter
was
titles.
Good job.
That fills
Don't
me with
worry,
faith.
we have someone just like you.
yeah.
Pats Ethan on the shoulder.
Can I roll Arcana to
Mhm.
see if something like that would even remotely does it defy common sense?
Oh, like the
Or
reverse engineering bit? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Honestly, I'm more inclined to believe this dude than the disgruntled
16.
husband.
Um Oh, are you
I'm gonna talk
asking
to the
like
son.
if such a thing might be
Oh, he
possible,
ran away.
or are you
Hey,
asking if yeah, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah, such a thing would be possible to like reverse engineer the totems and change. Yeah, yeah, maybe. You're not sure. You'd have to take a look at the book. Could be a thing. Yeah.
Well, should we get someone to appraise this book first, or
Well, Basil could
uh,
read it. He's quite good with things like that.
Yeah. I can have a look at this book. I'm
Are we
trying,
able to take
but
it
I
with
wanted to.
us? You said it was for
It
the
takes time to read a book,
totem
but
bearers.
Oh yes, of course. Here, take it. And he hands it over to you, Basil. As soon as you touch the book,
you,
Basil, you feel your arms grow limp, as if you can't like really hold it, and you just plop it onto the ground.
Can
Like it
Sage
just
try to
falls.
grab it midair?
Sure. Just make a dexterity check.
Sure.
it's my
That is a natural
do my
19.
hands like
Okay. Yeah. So you just grab it midair. You have no problem with it.
do my hands like lose power like completely for a bit, or is like I
Yeah,
just
they
can't
feel like
hold this
noodles.
book?
Very yeah. Momentarily.
and so this person who we're
Apologies.
supposed to believe uh trusts outsiders and whatnot, outside druids will not let them touch the book, or
Well, Well, Sage
What
is
is?
holding it fine.
And
That might
he
more
says,
be a byproduct of my brother and not a byproduct of the book.
Sorry, I'm not very strong, and this has been a very strenuous day. We've been doing a lot. A lot of things have happened. I think the fatigue's getting to me. I'm sort of trying to. I limply move my arms, trying to.
The feeling
Yeah,
will
I
return
think I really need
eventually.
the
It's
rest.
fine.
well, truth be told, I am a neutral party. Although, I guess one could consider me a member of the Enclave, but I've handled that book just fine. I'm not sure what's wrong with you.
My brother
It's
has
been
a
a
few
long day.
eccentric little things about
Basil,
him.
I think you need to go to the dock ward and get
He's
some
fine.
protein.
No, he's fine.
I
I've
could
decided
All
on
stand
right.
to
this.
have a good
Well,
meal.
this is getting quite awkward.
We
Are
can
we
make
done here?
soup.
Ah,
Yeah. Let's head on out.
Great.
Yes.
I hope I can trust you to make the right decision.
Not. I will not
Yeah,
lie to you.
yeah.
Currently, I trust you more than I seem to trust Jared's disgruntled husband.
Well, I hope Jareth can trust you, really.
Yes.
Well, that is
Yeah.
all from me.
Good day.
Good day.
And we start heading out.
Guys, I believe him more than the husband.
yeah.
And I sort of turn back. I sort of look at the book and say his hands. My hands or arms are sort of like limp. Yesterday was Arms Day, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
The husband was
Yeah,
crazy.
the husband I really just think is disgruntled in this whole scenario.
I think there's a power struggle going on. I definitely think there's a
Yes,
power
and I
struggle.
think Jareth would probably win if she was alive.
Yes.
So,
Ethan, I think you're right. I can't remember the last time we ate since what around Suni, and I think we should just grab some ingredients and make some soup at home, and we can
Soup.
keep it together.
yeah, we make soup. It's great soup.
Coming at this
Yeah.
with a fresh perspective would be
Yes.
well.
Also, I think we could
Yeah,
all use some sleep.
Ah,
yeah, let's have some soup. Sleep it. Have a night, think it over. And Darren, you can tell us what you learned over soup at the table. It's always nice to have a conversation. With something warm filling your belly.
Okay. All right. So you guys head back to Troll Skull?
yeah.
Yep. Okay. You head back to Troll Skull. You guys notice as you enter the warm sound of no sound from children. There's no children in here anymore. They seem to have been taken care of.
Wow,
Wait, the
Renner
children
is
weren't
really
at Troll
fast and
Skull, were they?
efficient.
I thought they were at the orphanage.
No, they were at Troll Skull as well.
Oh, okay.
Suni decided to move them all the way.
Okay. Sage was unaware of that development.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, we could probably find something to eat and then go to sleep for the evening. Make a game plan in the morning. Once you
Yes.
have feeling back in your arms, hopefully.
Yeah.
Sage is like poking at them.
Oh, your
There,
arms are
there,
not
there, there,
completely working?
You notice
a
like the
bit like
strength come
absolute
back to
now.
your arms. It was just
Oh,
under
okay.
like
Yeah.
under the book.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Well,
started raising my
can
hand
I
just
like try to
clench my
hand him
fist.
the book and like slowly give him the weight and see what happens?
Yeah, sure.
Have
Yeah.
the book?
So
I go. My hands reaching
um
out again.
yeah, so your hands reach out. Like, do you touch the book?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm trying to give it
that's
to you,
that's
so yep.
Okay. Like you like as you touch it and like you slowly do this like transaction, it doesn't feel like your arms are giving in terms of like feeling under the weight of the book, but more that like you're touching, that feeling when you like touch something really really hot and it like takes a bit of time to register before like the nerve
Yeah,
Oh
actually
yeah,
gets
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you feel that. As if like you have to like take your hands
Sage
off
is
this
like
immeasurable
slowly
heat.
letting
Ah,
go. Oh, I'm glad I didn't let it fully go this time.
yeah. I think I need some nutrition.
Maybe you can
Um,
just read it and I'll turn the pages for you on like a table. That might be better. It doesn't seem to like you.
That could work. That could work.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it is a druid thing. At this rate, it might just be a druid thing.
Okay.
Maybe it's Jared's will or something on it. But either ways, let's call it let's how about we quickly make some soup together and talk and then and that doesn't take too much energy and
Oh.
we can head to bed.
Yeah, we should
That makes sense.
do a break. Yeah, let's
Yes.
do a break.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, yeah.
Amazing.
We
We
Um,
should do a
go
break.
and
we'll
start
do a
buying
5-minute
ingredients.
break.
Like on the way
Yeah.
back we can buy some ingredients.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ready, Set, Save. All this focus. Okay. And we just got back with a meeting with the head, well, I guess now the head, the acting head of the Emerald Enclave. And the party is now coming back, I guess, from the market with new ingredients in tow for a good soup.
It's soup time.
Yeah, and Renair, he also knocks on your door. Do you allow him in? Or
Oh yeah, absolutely. Renner's is like always part of
yeah, as he
family
like
job.
knocks on your door, like the door kind of like swings open. Like there's no latch to keep it in place. And he kind of just like
If
notices
you
that.
kill Renner, I will be so sad. I will be
No,
so
no, no.
sad.
Yeah. But yeah, so he says that the children are doing all right, but there's one there's like 3 in particular that seem to be having it harder than the rest. They don't actually want to be put into the orphanage.
Wait,
They like
aren't they
being outside.
Warlord's children? I think they should be
Uh,
Warlord's spy.
Oh, you're muted, Cal.
I vote you allow them to leave the orphanage. They seem fine on their own. They're Volo's children by proxy.
Mhm. He also
yeah,
said
they
that
survived that.
he also said that the hags like took them in quite recently and that their stuff was taken from them.
Volo gave them to the hags as a hope that they would report back to him about what was going on in the orphanage, but that did not happen.
Which was
Oh.
quite
They
stupid.
survived that.
Another
They did
stupid,
survive.
scummy thing that Volo would do.
Yes, we're
Color me
well
surprised, I
aware of
suppose.
that.
Yeah. But no, they seem to be complaining about like they're missing stuff. They had like a toy bow, like a stuffed familiar, like an owl familiar,
We
that
found
kind of
those.
stuff. Oh, you did? Oh, nice. Well, they'd like it back.
But gifts for my niece.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's okay,
the right
Sage.
thing to do.
Yeah, we shouldn't be taking stolen things. Giving
Maybe,
them.
maybe we could just compensate them with some gold to buy new toys.
I don't think there was like a magical aspect to these things,
Yeah.
weren't there?
No
No?
magic
Oh, they just
radiating from them.
I suppose
What is
that we
their
could
stuff?
return them and we ourselves could just buy ones. That's probably the easier option.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
to be
probably the
honest,
better option.
if you're gonna speak pragmatically about these orphans, they do seem to know their way around Waterdeep really
Oh yeah,
well.
they're fine.
I feel like they have got probably some connection, like connections, and it might be good for reconnaissance. Maybe, it'd be good to have them on your side.
But
I
trust
suppose.
me,
It's like Volvo.
trust me, they seem to have a lot of connections from what we just
They
came back from.
they survived
Oh, really?
Volo, so
Oh, that's true.
yeah, no, I think
come in,
yeah
we're
we can
making
return
soup.
them. I
We're
think we
making
can return
soup.
them to them
Okay.
Yeah.
and let them roam
Let's-
amongst the city. Would you like soup?
Renner,
Oh, of course.
yeah,
thanks.
Sage like thrusts a bowl of soup into his chest. Have.
yeah.
Yeah, he enjoys it.
Yeah.
Just like my mama makes. And then his like his chin begins to curl up, like crunkle up as he like stares to at the wall. Or
I'm joyful. It's our mother's soup recipe.
Yeah, you would have noticed if Darian, Ethan, when you were making that, it's a bunch of things within our recipe, but you'd notice that both of us would crush Basil would be crushing basil while Sage would be crushing sage to put finally in the soup.
Ah,
There is
okay.
both basil and Sage in the soup, along with some
Pretty
other
You know what?
guests.
good.
So both
Yeah.
Darian and Cal, there's something about that meeting with the Enclave that just hasn't like that's been stirring in the back of your mind that hasn't just like left you. There like there's still something that you're like that's egging you on. So, but like I'd like you both to make like a religion check. See if any of you two notice something
That is a
10.
17.
as like you're recounting things in your mind.
Yeah, just a 10.
17.
Okay. Um. All right, Sage. Hmm. So with a 17, actually, you can make this with advantage. I want to see if you get higher.
Then I only have +2 to this.
Oh, to religion. Oh,
5.
because
It's
is it a
Oh my
it's
god.
not
yeah,
wisdom.
it's int.
You're rolling so low today.
Well, because of your background, I'm giving you advantage.
Yeah, no, that's worse. That's a 14.
Ross, get your
Okay.
dice. Ross, pick a
Yeah.
better die.
I will
I do have
grant you
feet
some
luck.
mercy. I will lower the DC simply because of because of your background. But yeah, like as as the events like as what you saw like slowly kind of went like going through your mind, you kind of like recount to yourself, oh, like the illusions to darkness, the
Oh yeah.
blindfolds, like ignorance. Okay, something's not right. These guys aren't worshiping Eldath. They're
No.
worshiping
Oh.
Shar.
Oh, I drew that conclusion already.
Yeah. Okay.
I do
Ray,
not know much
Ray and I
about
messaged
gods.
each other and we're like, well, this seems interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
And now that you think about this, you're quite sure maybe the blindfolds were just for show. That well, like
Well, that's why they knew where
to
we were.
well, no, like to settle other people not having to
Okay.
see their like gouged out eyes.
That makes
Oh.
sense.
Yeah,
ah,
yeah. To
Basil
spare
doesn't know
people
any of this, so
the bad side of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, Basil, you are getting pulled aside. Basil, they're not worshiping.
I'm just
They're not worshiping
yeah.
any god of peace. They're most definitely worshiping Shar.
I'm sort of like peeling an extra potato so for like the more I sort of like drop the knife. What? But they just said they were worshiping Eldar. What pushed you to that conclusion?
Sage is going to try and see where the others are in the house right now and how close they are to us.
Oh, I'm just imagining you guys are all sharing a table and just joking,
Ah!
talking
No,
amongst yourselves.
I
No,
went
no,
to
Sage would not
no.
say
Probably
this in front
I
of the
probably sit
others.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can
probably
just
sit
pull him
next to
aside.
Sage, and Sage sort of whispers to my ears, and maybe I drop the spoon into my soup with an
Okay.
Yeah.
audible plop.
And then I guess at the why do you think that? I mean, Sage is just going to whisper a continuation of, "Do you not remember the comment to the religion?"
Sort of like backtracking my head. It did seem ominous. Look,
They
let's discuss
admired our
this later.
faith. Not very many people would say that of choice unless they knew something or rather about it.
That's true. Let's talk about this after dinner. I mean, perhaps near
Maybe when we
bedtime.
go to bed.
Near
Yes.
bed.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, uh, as I've turned to, oh, Darian, very sorry. You came to tell us something, and we kind of
Oh
dragged
yes,
you
the
on this
information we
hectic
asked you about.
thing to.
Well, 5,000 gold is hardly a worry to be dragged around for. So, well, what I was just coming to tell you was your house valuation.
Yes.
We went over this last time we talked, but I went out to just a couple different areas and inquired. So, without an official appraisal, obviously, um, it's not exact, but you can always go to someone I know called Finnegan Stonepick, and he will conduct the appraisal. Uh, if it's registered with the government.
Official.
So
Ah,
you would have to start
I
that
really hope
process.
do we need an official appraisal to open up a business? Do you know?
I would assume so,
Okay.
or well,
God
because you have to
damn it.
pay taxes.
Even in fantasy world, we can't escape administration.
Yeah, the
Is
bureaucracy.
it faster than our government though? That's the real question.
Um, Waterdeep is known for its bureaucracy. It is
Great.
owned and operated by the guilds. Yeah. So
Well.
navigating that may be
Great.
a difficult. But anyways, continue.
So overall, I would just say, looking at other properties, most of the most of the value is tied up in its location. But I would value it around at least 20,000 gold pieces if you know, get it into shape and do some renovations.
I'm very happy we didn't take
Okay.
that guy's deal. So happy we didn't take his deal.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
really underselling his price. Houses
On
outside the city are not this expensive. What is up with in-city
well,
housing?
again, most of the value is tied up in location, so
That
you're in a
dude,
good spot, and the business has some promise. Once operated as an effective tavern and
that
whatnot.
epic dude
So
wanted
Yes,
100 GP. He was giving us 100 GP. I'm sorry.
yes,
He was.
that's really not.
I did
now
say
for
insultingly low.
yeah,
I'm
Those were the
aware,
words.
however, did not realize it was that bad.
A marked
indeed.
insult.
20,000? I mean,
This man does not real estate.
no.
Well,
No, I
you'd
think he
wonder
does.
why.
I think he was just hoping we didn't. I think
Yeah.
that was the hope there.
This man thought we didn't real estate.
Fortunately, we
Indeed.
do,
Uh,
kind of.
Thank you
Mhm.
for that information, Gary. That's actually very useful to us.
Well, there's also some bad news
Honestly,
too.
Bad news.
oh,
Bad
oh.
news.
Yes. Now for the bad news. Um,
Aww.
color my surprise when I saw the maintaining fees and expenses. They're estimated to exceed 1,000 gold per year,
I
which
mean,
is why, from owner to owner, no one has owned it for more than a year at a time within the past 20 years.
it's like 1,000
Wasn't
GP. I
good.
mean, in theory, if we keep adventuring and the tavern runs, we'll probably have that amount of money. Whether or not the tavern makes any.
If we revive this town, perhaps we could generate enough income for it to be self-sustaining. But wow, Waterdeep does charge a bunch for maintenance.
I finally understand why Waterdeep has the amount of money it does.
It's a city of
I finally
splendors, as
understand why
they
people
say.
move out.
Splendors indeed.
Roll credits.
Basil, nothing was this expensive in the village. Like nothing.
No,
What are these
no.
people on about?
I I remember once buying a cart by selling a deer Dad hunted.
Yeah, things are
This
more
is
traded than sold.
yeah.
Weird.
Money is a strange construct here.
Yeah, but apparently we're going to get a lot of it. Which is weird.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is why,
Not
if you actually look at the maintaining fees, well, 1,000 seems a lot up front.
Oh,
It's
does it?
obviously done over the duration of the year. It's not all
Oh.
paid at once, and
Could we just
you know,
pay it in a
yeah.
lump sum and then
in
not have to
theory, you
worry about
definitely
it?
could.
Ah, perfect.
You'd have to find people who are willing to and paint it only one payment per year. Um, but the general thing is that you would need around over 2 gold in revenue every day. So 2 gold and some silver, which for
Yeah.
this is a pretty
That's fine.
large place. It's not unreasonable
No. Once we, get
Wow.
it up and running and stuff
to
going.
get it up.
Perhaps,
That
yeah.
seems like a very future plan. I don't think we have the funds to do any sort of
No, after we
renovation
do
right
this,
here.
we
Tonight,
might have the funds, and then we should probably get on it before the ghost comes back and gets mad that we haven't.
I see.
Well,
Hmm.
with that, Shall we go to bed?
But the 5,000 goal was that if he followed, you know, the husband's plan.
That's
But
true.
his
That's true. Feels a
Well,
bit
maybe
morbid. Like,
I'm sure she would probably compensate us for saving her life
Most
if we
Jared,
likely.
do go
yeah.
through with
Jared's
the other
me.
plan.
Especially if she's not ill anymore. So that, yeah,
yeah,
no, I
But
think she'd
one
compensate
thing,
us.
one thing did note too. One thing, of note was that, um, Jared's husband mentioned a Nethri's curse or Nethri's disease. Those people are very ancient and powerful things, people, and a lot of the time, whatever they created or found has led to big changes in the across the Sword Coast. So, um, I fear he may not be lying about whatever afflicting her to be truly something of um, danger to people and herself.
Hmm.
Rhaenyra is just all taking this in
Oh
kind of
yes, Renee,
silently.
you weren't here for this. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So we
Yeah.
met the husband of the leader of the Emerald Enclave who wants
You can
us to.
you could just say that you summarize it in third person. It's fine.
Oh, but it's more fun. The disgruntled husband who seems to want us to kill his wife because he's angry
Oh,
he got kicked out of the house.
you sure this guy isn't my father?
That,
He has a similar vibe. You know
what
what? He also
you
has a son who's very angry
was
at
he?
him for his choices.
Was
you
Oh.
sh-
he was he redheaded? No, wait. Was he redheaded?
No, 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 he was not. Well, I mean, actually, you could not see because he did have a hood on the whole
Oh yeah,
time.
yeah.
Oh
What about
god.
his son? Was his son a redhead?
His son was not a redhead.
Oh
Swear to God,
darn.
No.
if this was
Yeah, you
Lord
might have a
Neverember.
lot in common with this guy's kid. Not gonna lie.
Lord Neverember in disguise
Deja
as
vu.
an
That was a
elf
deja vu
priest.
thought.
Yeah, Renee, we might have found you a friend in this dude. You have you have very similar things going on.
What's his name?
Lance.
Lance, what, Falcon?
Yes, that one. Yep.
I think I may have met him
Acquaintance with
once or twice.
Oh,
Ah,
His
interesting.
sister
this.
died very recently, I
yes.
heard.
Oh,
Oh,
We knew
Yeah,
this.
the whole
It kind
family
of
was
caused a
distraught.
rift in the family.
Yeah.
might be
Um,
gonna
the
be like
Falcon
a
side of the family kind of just like retreated into themselves and started doing drugs to just cope.
We
Um,
noticed.
yeah, but they've been doing that for
yeah.
well over a year now. Um,
You know, coping
I don't know.
isn't always good for you. Do you know anything else about them, particularly as a whole? What religions they follow?
About the Falcon estate?
Yeah.
Well, I know that they married the Tarms around 20 years ago.
Yes.
Uh, well, I think Jareth and the husband, I think they were getting along quite well.
Oh,
Um,
really? We did not hear that. We only
well,
kind of heard that.
the insinuation that I've seen is that they were quite distant to each other, even in marriage.
Ah,
Um, but happily distant, I suppose. I mean, it's not every day that you get to marry a disembodied voice, so
that's true.
you know,
The
yeah,
children thing confuses me.
wait.
yeah.
They got married when she was a voice?
Yeah, I still
I
don't know
guess
how they had
so.
kids.
Well, I guess they say love is blind.
Everything the
Oh
wild.
yeah, it's a weird thing. They seem to adopt this sort of like blind thing. The
Ah,
Tarms,
yes,
anyway.
yeah, yeah.
It's freaked a lot of people out,
Mm.
um, and it sort of dissuaded people from to actually go to the Enclave for help.
Perhaps what's under
Um,
the blindfolds is more concerning than the blindfolds themselves.
yeah. Well, I mean, this is interesting, but like, since the Enclave has been somewhat subdued and not really in the surface, I suppose, like as much in recent years. I guess the sort of natural order that they try to preserve, I guess, has somewhat gotten a little bit haywire. Like rumors of scarecrows going rampant in Undercliff, for instance. Uh,
Interesting.
you know,
I see.
a necromancer like stealing bones from the crypts of Waterdeep, that kind of stuff.
Interesting. But by the way, we heard the
Like,
name Blackstaff earlier. Is Blackstaff
yeah.
a known figure?
Oh no, yeah, she's a really well-known figure. She's actually my friend. Um, I rescued the Black
Oh,
Staff. Oh, I'd say maybe more than 10 years ago. Um, yeah, or no, sorry, no. It wasn't 10 years ago. It was actually quite recent, like around 3 years ago. Yeah, it was 3 years ago exactly. Yeah, not 10 years ago. 3 years ago. And then he kind of says that Suni took credit for that achievement actually, and that's primarily why he had beef with Suni in the first place.
yeah, that makes. Sunny had a beef with a lot of people, and sort of
Yeah,
as
that seemed to be
as
the
he said,
general
sort of
demeanor
stirred,
of
stirred the
Suni.
soup. I, I stirred the soup in my bowl. Those are really
Still, Suni was loved by many. So,
He was, yeah, but I suppose he was also hated.
good.
I mean, he was stoned to death.
Yeah,
So
judging by its fall.
yeah.
oh, he was
Yeah, he
stoned.
really got.
I was unaware of that.
But I'm really not sure how much that
Oh,
has to do with you know, the the piece on him or not. And as he says that, you hear a knock at the door.
Oh, great. Who is it? If it's Emic again, he can go away.
it's
Uh,
sort of late
hello.
for visitors. Though.
Uh, is this
I'll open the door.
Yeah,
yeah,
Hi.
you notice small Volo, just
Why are you here?
and he kind of adjusts his floppy hat and he says, "Ah, sorry, I'm sorry. I don't want to intrude. I'm sure you're having such a grand old time with Renee, but
How
there
do you
is just
know
one
Renee's here?
teensy little bit. Yes.
Volo.
L- Oh no, he noticed like
Oh,
Renee.
he saw Renee.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he saw Renee. Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought there was an assumption made.
wait, is
Oh no.
wait, quick question. Is Volo in a situationship with Renair or
Floon.
Floon?
Floon.
No,
Right?
no.
Both of
Floon,
them.
Volo,
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
sorry,
Both of
relationship.
them.
That's
relationship with
Floon.
Floon.
Yeah, that's Floon.
Floon's the fuck boy. Um,
Situationship.
Yes.
Renair also likes Floon, but like less romantically, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
just bros.
Bolo kind of mumbles and stumbles like his way through, trying to say that you guys need someone to watch over the transfer of estate. That you don't technically own the house in the eyes of
Oh,
the law
that's true. How
just
do
yet.
we do that?
And he says he'll arrange like a meeting with the magister tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Just go down to a courthouse near the Palace of Waterdeep. He gives you like the exact direction, but if you do
Cool.
that, the magister will witness the transfer of ownership, and you will never hear from Volo Thamp Gedarm ever again.
I mean, we don't dislike you, Volo. We don't mind if you
Yeah.
come and
Ah.
visit every so often.
How are the
Want some
children,
soup?
by the way? What about the orphanage?
They got sent to a new orphanage that's apparently really well known and where like nobles send their
Yes.
kids when they choose to orphan them.
Oh well, that is grand then. Wah! Great. Huh.
Yeah, your three seem to want to escape and not stay there.
The new orphanage?
Yes.
Ah, yes. Well, they're quite rambunctious little fellows. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But you send them to your dead deaths, you know.
Look,
That's
I'd
a
rather not talk about that, but you know.
Volo made some life choices.
Why? Ugh.
I think you thought that they were going to be okay and be able to send you information, and it just didn't work out for you.
Yes. One of my biggest regrets. Solemnly, I say that.
Would you like to tell us about your other regrets? Well, we're
No,
here.
I have no interest.
Sad. How's Floon doing?
Well, he's doing fine.
Have you
Why
met
do
his
you ask?
wife again?
Yes, I have. She is a very lovely young woman.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
Hmm.
Uh,
Floon's fucking around and finding out, huh?
I would like to know if Volo is just like completely BSing the fact that he thinks his wife is good. It's like when the gay best friend is like, yeah, I think my friend's girlfriend is great. When like secretly it's like, I wish
yeah.
she would die. Can I insight check it or not?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry,
That
I
is a
thought you.
natural 20
My
Okay.
God.
for a
Yeah.
26.
You notice that he said that with a hint of envy.
Volo, you sure about that?
I am quite sure. Yes,
But
a
you
lovely young woman.
Yeah, but you seem to really like Floon. You guys seem to have a thing going on.
He is a very good friend of mine. Now, look at the time. I
Friend.
must go.
Yeah.
Um.
Do you want soup to take with you?
No, I shall eat along the way
Okay.
back to the yawning portal where I frequent almost every day now. I am writing a book about specters, by the way. Why I bought this place. You haven't happened to
Oh,
encounter
we
one,
encountered
have
a
you?
specter. He left. We
Oh,
he just
Yeah.
wanted us to promise to turn it into a tavern again, and then he was happy.
well, that is rather disappointing. I would have liked to ask questions.
Well, he might come back. We don't know. We've yet to figure that
You're not
out.
very chatty.
Well, if
He was
he
not.
does, please make it your priority to retrieve me. All right. Well, good day.
Good
Okay,
day.
bye,
Day to you.
Volo.
And he bows
Enjoy
as
your
if he
friendship.
he bows as if he just like finished a performance. And he leaves.
I do not believe for 1 second that he is happy that Renair is married.
Follows a strange man.
I think
He,
Volo's a man in
uh,
love with a guy
I, I,
who's
I,
married.
as he leaves, I sort of turn around and there's this bowl of soup in my hand. Like, oh, he didn't stay around.
Oh
We
yeah.
tried. We did offer. He could have taken it.
Oh, well,
Volo can
it's
go
not the
fuck
place to
himself.
be.
It's fine.
Yes, Renair, I know your feelings on Volo. However, he did in fact bring us all together originally, kind of.
Yeah, all one
You
big happy
OG.
family, aren't we?
I mean, we're most.
Hmm.
We
Well,
are,
no,
aren't
we're
we?
I guess that
happy.
is semi-literal, isn't it? I don't like to think
Yeah.
about that. Anyways,
It's actually more than semi-literal. I think at this point, like, there's 5 people here, and 4 of
four of them are
them.
related, not to
Well,
each other,
not
but
like there's 2 pairs of siblings here.
yeah, 2 pairs of siblings. That's pretty funny.
Hey, Renat, if you want, remember we're done with this Emerald Enclave thing. Let's take a bit of a break. Let's head back to Ravenvale. I'd love for you to just sit down and have, dinner with my family. Just
Yeah,
enjoy. Nice.
it'd be
It's
great.
very peaceful there.
We'll make
It'd
soup
be a
with
nice
deer
change of
because
pace.
the soup is better with deer, I swear.
And he gives a concerning look, not to you two, not to the brother and sister, but to Ethan.
We're happily like, oh, we're gonna make
Like
soup.
almost a look as if like, do you know what they're talking
Do you think
about?
we can make
What is
bannock
Ravensville?
or bread?
Where even is it in the map? Like, can you show
Oh,
me,
it's where we're
Renat?
from. It's where we grew up, and where we're from,
How
where our
f-
family's from.
Um,
It's where
it's
Ophelia and your wife's name eludes me at the moment.
Eldar. Yeah.
okay.
I have
Well,
it written down. I just
I've never heard
I'm
of
not sure how
Ravens.
to I'm really not sure how to break this to you.
what?
Ravenvale is not on the map anymore. It's gone.
Well, that can't be true.
It's a small village.
Yeah, it's
a
always
small
been
village.
very small, and I mean,
No,
Gone in the
Yeah.
sense.
no, I read about it in the paper. There was a fire that
no.
destroyed the village.
When?
Ape.
Well,
We've
about
only-
the same time that you guys said that you arrived here, actually.
We would have heard about this. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you left the village before it occurred. That might have been it. But
Yes,
but
but
look,
why?
Well, there's still
Renner,
hope, right? Like
you're
I
overthinking this. You're overthinking this.
I'm
You
sure they would
probably
have
just
found
read it wrong.
Yeah,
well,
it's the paper was probably incorrect. It was probably another small village somewhere. We would have heard if it was Ravenvale.
no, like a guy like me would know. Um, look, I'm sure there were probably
I, s-
survivors, and your family is amongst them. We just need to find them in the
I
city.
sort of knock my soup over. Survivors, Renner, they're fine. They're at home,
They're happy.
and you don't ever see Basil like lose his temper or his
Yeah.
calm. They're back, and nothing is wrong with you. You
No.
probably misread this. That there's a uh, rat and whale or probably something else in some other part. The Sword Coast is a big place,
Or it was
and
satire.
to be very
Someone
honest,
needed satire.
Renner, it's time to, I
or
guess, leave it be.
Um,
I don't know. I'm
They're
confused as
happy
well.
they're alive. We're going to go home once all of this is sorted. And
yeah,
that will be that.
I sort of look. I sort of
I
look at the spilled soup. Sorry about that. I should get
I'll
it
clean it
right.
up.
I
It's
sort of
fine. Don't worry. Sage
look,
will go and grab a rag and
yeah.
start to clean the floor.
someone like me who's been fighting for truth his whole life, I must say that it is very difficult for me to walk away from such a conversation.
It's
I
incorrect.
well, no,
Oh
it's not.
damn.
Yes, it
It's
is.
not incorrect.
It's our home.
Darian,
We
do you
know.
want to back me up on this, Darian?
Well, it's an interesting situation. Um, however, I'm not quite sure it's. Eh,
Have you heard of Ravenvale? The destruction of Ravenvale? You can make
yeah,
like a history check if
yeah.
you
I'd
would
like
like.
to.
Basil and Sage are like,
Oh, you only just recently
Yeah.
acquired Keen Mind. Wait, does Keen Mind let you like just remember things in the past before you got it?
I feel like for the month,
Well, it's
it
just this for the month.
enhances your mind. Month prior, I'm.
Yeah,
Yeah, what
I'd
does
say
it
like
say?
since Kima is not something
I'm curious.
you just pick up. Kima is something like you develop, I feel. So like if you did know it from the past month or so, I feel like you'd remember it.
yeah.
Does that make sense?
Uh huh.
Yeah,
Because
that's
the way that you develop a feat when you level up, kind of thing,
Okay.
organic.
Yeah, you remember reading something like it actually made headlines in Waterdeep, like in the Waterdeep Zoo, that like a village not far from here named Ravenvale was destroyed.
Which, by the way, shares our last
Um,
name.
yeah,
Very
a
interesting.
month ago.
huh.
There's no
Well,
way. It had to have been satire or something or a mistake or we were there. We would have known.
Can we like leave this topic? I feel like this discussion is not leading anywhere.
There doesn't work.
Ethan, I think that's a lovely idea. We can clean up, we can go to bed, we can decide what we're doing in the morning.
Okay.
Renner, I understand how you feel, but I guess there's a time and a moment, kinda. And
Yep. Okay.
Yes.
Wait, I
Um.
sort of turned to Darian. What did
hmm.
this report exactly say? Because now I'm
oh,
a bit upset that it was brought up.
so in terms of exact details, I'm not sure Darian would remember. Like he has keen mind, but it is just a newspaper.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, we could
and
ask Renair,
it's
he
more of a
might actually
thing.
know.
Like he
Yeah, I
wasn't
sort of
super
turned to
interested. He was more paying attention to the Waterdeep side of things.
That's
But
fair.
yeah, I sort of turned to Renair and uh, you want to tell me what exactly is this report you saw apparently said?
Mm, okay. Well, it says I'm not sure how to. Um. hmm. Uh. Well. Uh. You're gonna need to sit down with me. Alone. I think.
Why?
Um. Uh, you two can sit down with me. Just alone. Uh.
Let's do that before we head to bed then.
Probably
Sure.
Uh,
best.
let's just, yeah, I'll put these in the Did they have sinks back then? Oh, or the basins, or
Yeah,
whatever.
basin.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
I'll
you
remember.
help you
do.
in clearing the table.
The water
Remember
does
washing
work, but
kitchens in the
like out
cringe.
comes like sludgy, dirty water.
Yeah, saw
Mhm.
that coming.
But
Okay,
you wash what you can.
we'll deal that with that
It's one more
tomorrow.
thing.
Yeah, we'll
Just
You
deal
you
with it.
you wash with what you've got. Yeah. So okay. So before you head to bed, do you share like a private room with Renair?
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. We start go to Renair's.
Yep.
We like
Okay.
whatever
We'll
it's
go to
our room in
Renair's
this
room.
house.
I vote we go to
Yeah.
Renair's room.
And
But no, but
Renair.
Renair doesn't live here, right?
Yeah, Renair
Well,
doesn't
I
live here.
mean, there's enough rooms in this house for Renair to have a room at this point.
Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
I think one of the guest
Renair's
rooms
spare
is
room.
just like honorary Renair's room.
Renair does live in a very comfy mansion, so he probably would want to
It's
just get that
our
done anyways.
honorary Renair guest room, okay?
Yeah, sure. Big mansion.
You've helped us
Okay.
get here, therefore we offer
Yeah.
you a room.
So Renair sort of absent-mindedly like closes the door and like sits on the bed, like about like as if about to tell like some really bad like grave news. And he says, um, "I'm not sure what the content warning for this adventure is, like in terms of." Let's. I'm just gonna gloss over it, but like I'm gonna insinuate, I suppose.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, he's gonna say like. So this is what he says. He says, uh, he says, um, well, so from what I've read, uh, a group of marauders, which were identified to originate from Waterdeep, um, they, well, they raided the homes of people and started doing God's know what. Um, and from what I read, I'm not sure if there were any survivors, but it seemed to me as if, um, oh God, gods, I'm sorry. Uh,
See Basil's
they
hands sort of clenched to fists as you're speaking.
the the
Is
the the fire there
Sage
was a
will
fire.
take one of his hands.
They 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 set the village up in flames, all the houses, everything. It looks as if it was hatefully motivated. Um, uh, yeah.
Why?
to see his eyes sort of his people will just keep on shaking his
Sage is like
lies.
dragging her nails against her thighs.
Hey, what you're saying are just fabrications spun by the tongues of cowards. That's my hell, my failure. I sort of fall to my knees, and there's like tears in my eyes. They're they're everything to me. Their tale, they just it can't end. Start panting, and suddenly you feel like there's this spark in his eye, as if the fires. The darkness. I still clutch. If you remember, he has these glasses which are shattered and broke. He sort of takes them off and looks at them, and his eyes sort of in this look of grief and denial, almost, as by the by the gods, this this can't be. He's not. But you see his face, which is normally somewhat palish, in
Mhm.
his more browner skin, becomes even more pale as um, his eyes go completely like uh completely dark. I will return. Voice is probably not his. I will return home. I will see the truth of his aura with my own eyes. A raven's cry will be heard, and it will toll the doom of those who dare strike at the heart of raven wail. He's sort of shaking as if some sort of other being is speaking from his mouth before he sort of collapses on the ground, limp.
What have you done to him? What have you done?
And Renair is kind of like also like crying, and he's like wiping tears from his eyes as he's just like watching this unfold.
What did you do?
And he says, I'm sorry.
Sage looks angry. Like Sage is mad at Renair.
Uh-huh.
Why? Why did you have to say anything? Why did you have to?
You weren't keeping this from him, were you?
We were happy. We were happy before you showed up and said this.
And yeah, he sort of instinctively just like quickly gets up and begins to go for the door. Indeed,
I will
saying,
block the door.
Around some
I will actively block
around
him
this
from
time,
leaving this room.
okay.
around
And
this
he
time,
says,
Basil sort of stirs up as well. He's like, "Ah, my head. Ah, sorry,
Sage,
the fatigues
look,
really get."
I'm sorry about your family, but I I'd like to leave.
Slowly stir up. I'm
Fine.
like, "Ah, my head, fatigue's really getting to me. Uh, Renee, where are you going? You were just about to
Renair
tell
is
us
leaving.
what's happening."
We don't need him here any longer.
Okay.
Oh,
Goodbye, Renair.
didn't, ah,
Is that
sorry,
it?
I passed out before I heard what you were saying. Ah,
Uh, and Renair kind of like reading you. He knows that it's like a goodbye. Probably for like a good long time.
For now,
Uh,
yeah. Oh,
and
Sage
he
is
says,
pissed.
yeah, and he says, um, I'm sorry. And like he just heads out.
Sage will sort of sink to the ground where Basil is and pull him into a hug and
Do I
say,
hear this commotion or anything like that?
I don't
Yeah,
think
you do hear
I'm not sure we were yelling though.
you weren't yelling, but you must like he was like heading for the door, and you
That's
did
true.
block it. So
That's true.
there was some commotion in that sense. Um,
Basil, it's a fabrication. You're just seeing what he's telling you to see. It's not real.
I,
We were home a
what
month
exactly
ago.
was
It's fine.
um why exactly was Renee here? I can't really remember why did him
There's
to
no
his room.
reason why he was here. We were
um,
having a chat and he left.
and
Don't worry.
well, one more thing I want to say, Basil, as you're coming to, you kind of realize almost like out of like a deep sleep. There's sometimes when like you wake up in the middle of the night. I think everyone has this, but anyways, like sometimes when people wake up in the middle of the night and they've got like this one objective that they have to do, maybe in order to fall back asleep or like to do something. Like they've got something on their mind. You kind of get this feeling, and you've got this feeling of, I have to destroy the tome that they gave me, like the groundskeeper gave me. I need to destroy it.
Do you
It needs to be
verbalize
like
this?
put into a fire.
Bless you, Ray.
I sort of sorry, I think about that for a second. I'm not gonna say it yet, obviously. I think I want someone to sleep.
Oh,
Um,
I'm still hugging you and like whispering like it's
yeah,
okay. We're fine. Renair's
to
gone.
say.
He won't bother us.
I can't remember much, but that book which uh, the groundskeeper, I forgot his name, that something branch, felt
Oh,
branch.
Melanol? Melanol?
as you guys sort of
Yeah.
try to recount um the this person's name, we're gonna cut actually to Ethan. Um, and
Mhm.
Ethan, you hear a knock at the door, like a very subtle knock.
Oh no, Renair.
Yeah.
I open
I
the
like
door.
Renee. Why'd you do that, Renan?
Yeah, and then Renair says, um, I don't think you're going to be seeing me around much longer.
What do you mean? And why do you look so like
Yeah, he's
mysterious?
like rubbing his face a bit.
What happened? I did hear something downstairs.
Um, I think I haven't. I think when you lose someone, it's 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 different. I think I think they're in denial. Um, maybe they'll come to. Maybe they'll realize. Maybe they'll accept. But um, until that happens, you won't be seeing me. They're they're not uh, they're not on good terms with me.
What do you mean? You've helped us. Uh,
Look, if you want to see me yourself, you can. And he gives you the direction, like to his address, and he says if there's anything that you ever need from me, um, I'd be happy to lend you a hand. Truly.
uh,
In fact, you know what? I'll do something better. I'll do you one more. And he pulls out like a piece of paper and he kind of crudely begins to draw something. And he says, "Yeah, all right. Um, I'd like to invite you to an opera. Yeah, an opera. It's an opera at the Light Singer Theater. It's gonna be in about I would say in a day or two. This opera happens every night. But what I'd like you to do, if you're interested, um, meet Mert at intermission. Um, Private Box C. I would remind you that formal attire is required for admittance, though.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
thank you.
yeah, and if you want to go with your friends, maybe just don't mention me. Um, yeah, it's the least I can do for you, really.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
and he
don't
gives you
know.
that information in the paper.
I don't know what to say. How am I gonna? I guess since I've started this adventure, you have been there all along, brother. I don't know. Like now that you're leaving me, like it feels. How am I gonna face my enemies? How am I gonna face the world around me alone?
Um, and me as a DM cannot come up with advice just at hand right now, but he does give you good advice. I will just say that.
Uh,
And he will hug you, and he will say, as long as Neverember's Enigma is around, um, and brewing, you may see him again.
I see.
And he says that is what brought us together, and that is probably what's going to keep us together. Our father.
That is true. Best of luck.
Mhm,
And I guess hug him and wave him goodbye.
mhm.
Ah,
Yeah, and he kind of solemnly walks down the steps and leaves. Okay. Siblings. Is there anything else
Yeah,
that you want
back the I turn to Sage and I whisper him, that book which the groundskeeper gave us. I feel it's evil. There's something wrong with it. I knew from the moment I touched, but there's something off about it.
Sage
We
sort of
have to destroy it.
Sage sort of thinks back to the sort of differences between the two houses, in which one sort of seems to follow who, and says, "I agree.
I
We should get rid
sort
of
of
it."
I sort of do a full extrapolation in my head. Think happened to Jareth. Perhaps this Netherese curse. Maybe it originates from this book. Maybe that's why I feel this sickness when I hold it. Perhaps it's for the best that it's destroyed, and we should inform the others of the same.
No,
I want to
no.
cut
We should,
to Darian actually. Darian,
yeah.
um, you do feel as if like there is actually. Did you sort of like inquisitively try to select a room that is like close to the siblings? I wonder.
Um, I mean, I figured he would have been on the same floor, probably, definitely near them,
Yeah.
but
Are
not.
you eavesdropping?
Um, I mean, I feel like they're being relatively uh like loud in terms of like they're conversing, and like the
Yeah.
walls are probably pretty thin, so
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah. So you do hear them beginning to talk about and contemplate the idea of destroying this book.
And at that moment, like everything just kind of connects together with like the keen mind, like, oh, well, that makes sense now, the whole in terms of their weird attire, and just honestly, the patriarch's general situation just did not ring as correct.
I
So it's
so wait, what are you realizing? Are you
uh,
realizing
deeper forces are at work, and the situation is not at all what it seems.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So like approach with caution, and
Yeah.
probably inquire more before person. Or
So do you have an urge to stop them or do you want to keep to yourself? I wonder.
um, let me just. He, he,
Basil's part. Basil's trying to destroy the book in front of everyone, not like now itself. He sort of wants to call everyone to
Oh,
go
he does.
destroy.
Yeah.
Oh, Sage does not though.
Yeah.
Sage just wants to
Sage
destroy the
doesn't.
book.
Yeah. So you do hear an argument transpire.
yeah,
Yeah, about that.
we can. Like Darian is obviously in favor of like destroying it with the group, or like coming to a consensus on it after a discussion,
Yeah.
um, rather than just having it destroyed. So maybe he's gonna just like knock on the wall, say, "Let's leave this for tomorrow. Let's
you also
Well,
hear
full
that
attack, full attacked."
yeah, just like outside of the
Good night.
corridor, Ethan, you just hear let's leave this for tomorrow.
perhaps we
So,
should go to our own room, not the guest room.
That's that night. One person has died. Harry, what? Too much. No. Okay. Let's long rest it out because I'm low on resources. Yeah.
okay. In the middle of your long rest, Sage, I'll
Yeah, I
make
was
this
about to say,
quick.
can Sage not actually go to sleep and do
Oh,
something
you don't
else?
want to go to sleep.
Sage
Okay,
has
sure.
the book.
Oh, you have the book.
I've had it this entire time.
Yeah,
Sage wants to try and destroy the book.
like right away. Okay,
Yes.
without
Oh no!
Okay,
Sage has made some connections in life and has
yeah,
realized some things and has
yeah,
decided this book is really not great.
yeah.
So Sage would like to get the fuck rid of it.
Okay, so you'd like to.
I don't know how.
You don't know how. Okay, well, tell me how you're envisioning it, and we'll see how it
I mean,
happens.
first plan
How
is
Sage
just to
wants to do it.
try to catch it on fire.
So do you like break out like a flint
I
and
have
steel and
torches.
like in your room?
No, I will scurry myself down to the courtyard. I'm not trying to burn
So
down the
you
house.
will scurry. Okay, so we'll do. hmm.
Also, my armor isn't on right now. I should specify
So,
that.
Darian, are you sleeping vigilantly or are you sleeping like very heavily?
I mean, considering he like heard an argument transpire,
That
and just
is,
in general,
yeah,
there's reason to not, or to be vigilant.
yeah. That is a fair argument. Okay, so you can make your um. How should we do this? And you're doing this. I guess you're actively sort of listening. Oh well.
Well,
I
I
can't
just
let
think
you make like an active perception check while you're
yeah,
sleeping, but I
Sage
will
either
would
give you
also
passive.
disadvantage.
be trying to avoid rooms that she knows has people in them.
Yeah,
Oh, I
Like
see.
probably
downstairs.
passive perception.
Yeah, just like a passive perception without disadvantage.
Yeah,
So yeah, tell
my
me what your passive.
passive perception is, I believe, 14. Yes, 14.
Okay, Ethan, are you sleeping heavily,
Uh,
or are you wary or suspicious
I,
something's happening?
I'm definitely not heavily asleep, but at the same time, I am not that like
Worried.
actively awake kind of thing. So I'll
Okay,
He's
just
just
say
like,
light
I'm in
sleep.
bed.
like a light sleep. Um.
I'll say if there's like a ruckus or like some kind of you know like sound, I'll definitely wake up.
Hmm. Okay. Um. Yeah, and Sage is in heavy armor, or do
I
you
removed
doff?
it
Yeah.
You doff it.
because
Okay.
Sage would have been
Um.
going to bed. So
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Okay. So I guess you both will just have your normal passives. Um. What are your normal passives? Sorry, one was 13. Am I correct in that? 13. During.
Sorry. Passive perception is 14.
Oh, 14. Okay, 14, and then uh, Ethan.
Passive perception is like a 9.
Okay, 9. All right. So, Sage, go ahead and make me and I guess Basil. I mean, are you just heavily asleep, or what's the deal with you?
you're
You're
Oh,
muted.
muted.
you're muted. Why am I?
You're muted.
Sorry. I was just checking that. Um, I don't need. Uh, I don't actually go to sleep because of
Oh,
Reborn.
you
I
don't.
just stay motionless with eyes closed, trying to go to sleep.
Ah, okay. So then you're probably just wide awake.
Right.
Um, I mean,
But I'm not gonna do anything
yeah, you're not.
yet.
I suppose.
I kind of
Yeah,
want to.
He doesn't care.
yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say that you probably.
I
Well, we'll see. So, you can go ahead and make yourself two
unless the
checks.
sound of commotion, I won't actually leave bed. I may just think,
Yeah.
I'm not. Like, if Sage is gonna use the bathroom in the middle of the night, well, I shouldn't really tell her.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think
That's fair.
she's gonna do anything wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, if suppose there's a commotion outside, I'd go outside. That kind of.
Yeah.
That is a natural 18.
Ooh. Okay. So you've beat everyone's passive perception, so they don't notice
The one
anything
time
or
I
any
roll
ruckus.
well, and not like a
Yeah.
12.
So they don't notice anything as you head downstairs with the book in hand. And you find yourself outside in the courtyard. Yeah.
Torch. Light torch.
Okay.
Tried to
Yep.
catch it on fire.
Yeah. So you can, well, actually, yeah, it is a rather old book, and it's archaic, and it's got leafy pages, and it's also made of leaves. Well, the covers anyway, so it should probably catch on fire quite quickly. And you notice it does. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. To your.
I'm
Oh, you're muted. Oh, sorry. Never mind.
No, I was just very. I was like melting.
Yeah. Yeah, and you feel this great happiness inside you. Like the biggest feeling of happiness and relief that you felt in like a really
Oh, I
long
feel
time.
great.
Yeah, as you
No
just
one
watch
should
this
have
book
let.
burn.
No one should have let Sage keep this book. Is the real answer. I
Yeah,
realized partway through, I was like, wait, I have the book. I
yeah,
was like, I took
Be
it,
the
but
worst
it
person to
fell.
handle book in this
And
scenario,
Basil
but
couldn't hold it, so it became mine.
yep.
in the party's defense, Sage has normally been the most
She
stable
has.
person here.
Okay. Well, um, yeah.
They
So
have one avenue.
the book
They're
is
going for the
now a
money,
pile of
apparently.
ash. Really, I would say not even a mending spell
Amazing.
can get it back together. So yeah,
That's dealt with.
it
That
is
solves
destroyed.
a
Yeah,
problem.
poor groundskeeper really messed up, huh? Really
Yep.
messed up.
Look, Sage had some realizations after the groundskeeper. She did in fact trust him more. Just, perspectives change on occasion.
Yeah.
It's one to say. Well, with that, Sage will I guess she'll kind of sweep away the ash a bit so that it's not like a pile of ash that one of
Yeah,
us.
you just scatter it around the dead courtyard.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about this, and then kind of just scurry back into her room.
Okay, nice.
Do I smell the smoke?
Do you smell the smoke? That's very good. I mean, you have a passive perception of 9, so I would say
Yeah.
no, you don't.
Uh,
But maybe Darian does. Yeah, Darian,
I
you notice the
don't
smell
read,
of
so I
smoke,
don't
but you
actually.
know, like you
Should
notice the
I-
smell of smoke way after it would,
Yeah.
well
Should
after
I
it would have
also
been like properly.
make
No,
a sleight of hand to try and get back up the stairs without anyone noticing?
Oh, like a yeah, sure, you can
Yeah,
stealth,
sorry,
stealth back.
I'm awake.
Yeah.
That is a 10. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as soon as you smell the smell of smoke, you also notice someone like coming back upstairs.
Yeah, Darian at this
Far
point he's
away
like,
from you.
well, what's done is done.
Yeah.
I
There's
did
no
a
really
thing.
piecing this one together. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
So
you
he's
don't overly know.
he's just gonna ignore
who
it.
Did it.
He's
though.
gonna ignore it and ask in the morning.
In theory, it could have been both of us because you didn't hear anyone
Yeah.
go down, and
That's
you
true.
could only hear one of us go up in theory. So.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he's not gonna confront you in the middle of the night. He's gonna sleep and
Sage appreciates that. She would also like to sleep.
prefer to
Yeah.
get to it in the morning.
Okay, so you guys take your earned long rest.
Amazing.
Nice.
Fun fact: that is
Okay.
the first time I've ever done anything like that in D&D.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
anything like
thought it was
what?
great.
very much not
Cheers.
the type to like take the thing, get rid of the thing, even if I want.
Oh.
I'm a very
Yeah.
much like will debate my opinion type of person, and will like
Yeah,
argue
yeah.
it. Sage is
Mhm.
not that type of person, to be
Yeah.
honest.
No. I mean, I admire the way you handled your choice. It was
I was like, hey, I have the book. Sage does not want this book to be here, and you know what? 2 and 2.
yeah.
Especially
No.
with like the emotional state of mind as well.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
no.
you
There's
just
there's
had a
many
long day.
things that led to Sage
Yeah.
just wanting.
I mean, like
to
the good thing about this choice, I feel, is that you made it with knowledge of like knowing like what may or may not happen.
Oh yeah,
going
no,
forward, right?
yeah.
Like you made it with knowledge.
I've
so that
I've
it's
drawn
good.
conclusions.
Yeah. It was like a well thought
It's
out,
gonna
not
be
like
an
an
all
irrational
morning.
sort of rash thing.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
gonna
it,
be a
like it was
really
for the
awkward
character, I would say, but like
Yes,
you know, as a
yes.
player, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so
Oh, I
that's,
mean, I did think
admirable.
of
It's
the
gonna
outcome of
be-
doing this. That's fine.
Oh, actually, I wanted to do. You know what? I'm gonna give out inspiration for both Sage and for Darian, because Darian, you managed to like fit all of that exposition into like very well. Like you exposited it very well, like the information that I gave you. And then Sage, you for the choice that you made there. Yeah.
That was not Cal. That was not my choices in life.
Yeah.
Things we do for inspiration.
Yeah.
Now I
Alright,
got the
fuck.
feet luck stacked up. I've just been holding them just in case. You know.
Well, we
But-
long rested. It's the morning.
Yep.
that was the most.
You have long rested.
Darian is gonna. I guess you guys. Darian's gonna wait for you guys to like walk downstairs before coming down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who leaves the room first? Sage or Basil?
I think we're in different rooms. We don't
Probably
sleep in the same bedroom.
Oh, okay.
We're
Yeah.
we're
guess who
twins.
leaves
we're
first?
we're not dating.
Yeah,
We have
yeah,
separate
fair.
we have separate bedrooms.
Who leaves
I'm
first?
guessing not Sage because Sage was up in the middle of the night burning
Yeah.
books.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
I'll
that's true.
probably head out in the morning.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you notice Darian just lurking outside, sort of waiting for you.
Yep. Just chilling. Why is he downstairs?
Oh, good morning, Darian. It's
Morning.
rough yesterday. Can't really remember much after soup.
Well, I've got a pretty decent memory. So,
I wonder.
what was that about?
Two opposites here.
Ethan, you also come downstairs as well.
Yes, I do too. And hearing this conversation,
Sorry. What was what about?
Just that situation last night.
What did you talk to Renette about that she left?
I actually cannot remember. I sort of fainted somewhere in the middle. Um,
Right,
and
excuses. You know, Basil, since
I
I've known you, let me speak. Let me speak. Since I've known you,
uh,
you and your sister have been, I guess, whispering to each other, and I do not know what the fuck is going on with you guys, okay? And I don't know what to do. Do I need to help you? Do I need to stay away? Like, what do you recommend? And now Renee has up and left, you know.
I'm actually very confused of what happened to Renee. I I think I came to a conclusion yesterday. This fatigue and all I've been facing, it seemed a lot similar to the conditions which uh, Jared was facing. And I fear that that book, which the groundskeeper gave us, could potentially be an anchor of some kind of Nethri's curse. Because there's some sort of magic there which I couldn't understand. And ever since touching it, I've been feeling this intense fatigue. I couldn't even remember what happened when once we went into Renair's room.
Sage, you
Biz-
you
And he
Sage,
seemed
you hear this as well. You can come downstairs. Wake up.
Good morning.
you sort of
Hi.
Basil seems pretty genuine about that. He seems to be very, believe. And Ethan, I'm sorry if you feel, but you're one of our few closest friends over here, and we risked our lives for you.
Yeah.
Um, I'd like to think that we're in it together. We're a family here.
I,
I
I
say,
totally
but
agree with you. I totally agree with you. But when when I asked for your help, I let you know what what I was facing and what we're gonna face, like the hacks. It was like public knowledge, I guess. Like everyone, like Runad, Bolo knew. But Netherese curses, these religion, these gods, I don't know anything about them. I don't know what I'm facing. I'm, I've been hearing talks about demigods and
Well, I mean,
things like
she
that.
is a demigod, I think. I mean,
Like
we know what you
I
know on that
truly
front.
think
as a DM, are you asking Ethan? Are you asking like have they enacted the wrath of a god? Is that what you're
No, not
saying?
really. No, no, no.
No.
I
We know
feel
what
like
you know on that front. Like,
of
we got tasked to
after
kill her, kind of. Mercy killing.
Where's
I feel like after a night of thought, Jathan, sorry, not Jathan, what's it?
Jathan!
That's the wrong
We have
account.
now
Wait,
renamed you!
Jareth, Ethan.
Jared,
Yeah.
Jared, Jared, Jared. Jared's husband he seemed pretty genuine about that, and the groundskeeper seemed awfully strange, reaching out and trusting us with that book. I feel like he gave us very little information, and he's setting us up for failure by sending that with us. Uh,
Are you sure about
and
that?
the
Ah!
Yesterday you were saying quite the opposite.
Speaking of the book, it's gone.
Huh.
What do you mean it's
what?
gone?
I
uh,
turned to
well.
Sage. What? What do you mean it's gone?
It's gone. I mean, I went to bed, took all my armor off, took all my stuff off, went to sleep, and then wake up, book is gone.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure.
Darian's just sitting here, like, sort of a little smirk on his face, just
Hmm.
nodding his head.
I'm not great at lying.
Inside.
Sage is
Where's
not great at
my?
lying.
I got a 19.
Okay. Um, but you were telling the truth there, Sage, right?
I
Or oh
mean,
no, I'm sorry.
in theory, she was telling a
It's
half
half
truth.
truth,
It's a
yeah.
Yeah,
half
it was a
truth.
half truth. Yeah.
She did in fact
But
go to bed. She did in
technically
fact
so,
wake
yeah.
up. Book was there. Book was not there. So
I mean, if you guys want to make it a contested check, or if you feel that's high enough, Sage, for him to
it's
find
high.
out.
I can't beat that without a natural 20, and I can't tie
Oh,
it without 19. Like Sage is not good at lag.
I mean, if you want to roll, you can. If not, that's fine. It's up to you.
Trust the dice gods. That is a 19.
Ah,
It is a 19.
So with
Which
the contest on a so
did
a
we just
tie in a contest
tie it?
just means that it doesn't, like,
yeah.
you don't
I,
know
Defender
anything
wins.
that you didn't already know going in, which means, yeah, you're not quite sure whether
I am
Oh,
surprised that
she is
worked.
lying or not.
Will not lie. I
Yeah,
dice gods.
Hazel has complete
Dice
faith in her sister.
you're not sure if she's telling a
Sister
half truth or
never
not.
lies.
Yeah,
To the dice
you're not sure.
gods. I like this dice, man. I should put the other d20s away.
So what do you do with that not newfound knowledge?
Maybe someone
I
took
just
it.
shrug it off. I mean, I trust Sage. I think she's the most trustable body. So, uh, so I, you said it disappeared.
I'm a heavy sleeper. Like I, Basil can tell you that. Like
Do you think someone stole it? Maybe we should look for this book. It was
I mean, I don't know.
important.
There's rats in this freaking building who have wives with weird dolls. Like, also, I hate to remind you, the lock on our door is broken. Like, can you just push it open?
I feel
The
And then a
book.
bunch
really
of
is
the
a
windows are
mystery.
like
broken. Like, someone could very easily get in here without us knowing.
I
Wonder if we
genuinely
should.
feel that this is a curse or something because today I feel a lot better. I sort of move my arms around to, like, I'm not really a fighter. I do some kind of fake shadow boxing kind of thing, which isn't true. Which anyone who's a decent fighter would say is horrible form. um, my arms feel alive again, and yeah, everything seems to be pretty. I actually had a pretty good night's sleep after that. Um,
That's
Somewhere
good.
along the night, I started to sleep a bit better. Maybe after whoever came for that book.
Maybe it seems it being in your general vicinity was not helping you.
Mhm.
Also, we should really make a note to get that door fixed, the lock on the door, and maybe board up the windows so that doesn't, like, maybe happen again.
And as
Yeah,
soon as
make
you
it.
say that, you hear another knock on the door.
Yeah, alright.
and that's where we'll end the session, with a knock on the
Alrighty.
door.
Right.
Jeez.
Alrighty. Goodbye, stream.
I don't know.
Goodbye, stream.